So let me tell you what caused or created this whole download. So about a year or two ago, our guides intervened on our way of doing business, and they said, hello beautiful soul family.
Hello everyone.
So we are super freaking excited to make this video because this is titled Real Talk for a reason. One of the things, for those of you who've been following us for 3 years, you guys know that what you, have shared with us that you love most about us is how real we can be. In this particular video, we have no choice but to be real, because you'll see what we're talking about here. You'll see what we're talking about in just a second. The word ascension, the word awakening, the words the golden age, words like enlightenment, words like new earth frequencies, all of these words, what do they mean to you? What do these words mean to you? The guides have been coming in very strong about this video. We literally had to put another video on pause to make this video, because it feels like we're being asked to do what we do best. So you know how there are some coaches that play on the side of not triggering you, not upsetting you, not hurting your feelings, so that we're on the safe side? We're not such coaches. We love you unconditionally. And one of the things we're really, really good at, and we've been doing for the last 3 years, is help you move through the sticky, icky stuff. Your shadow self is to move through things that people may not even show you. Like, think about it. A coach, what is a coach? What is a guide? What is a true ascension guide? Who is your biggest cheerleader in the 5D New Earth frequencies? Think about it. It is someone who can show you your blind spots, who can guide you based on the frequencies of unconditional love, based on wisdom, love, power, wisdom, all flowing through. And this is not often, it's not often that you can find such people who guide you. So we want to set that as a premise for this video. And we also want to remind you that our biggest intention for this video is for you guys to have breakthrough upon breakthrough as a small token of our love as you embark upon the next journey of your lives that will come after this whole foundation that we set for you.
Yeah, definitely. And like Eldora mentioned, your biggest cheerleader is not someone who agrees with you all the time. Your biggest cheerleader and the true friend, and we're each other's cheerleaders, by the way, we always help each other see each other's blind spots. And because we are so open and we know that this relationship is based on unconditional love between ourselves, and at the same time our relationship with our audience is also based on this same frequency of unconditional love. Our main intention for starting this YouTube channel is not to gain 1 million followers, although that would be nice, as long as those followers are of the vibrational frequency of love and respect and reciprocate the unconditional love that we are sending out. So our main intention for even being in social media, even being spiritual teachers and ascension guides, was to help humanity ascend. And our guides gave us a very big lesson recently, and they said there's one place where your audience needs a little nudge to get out of their comfort zone. And today we want to address all of the ascension students who are serious about their evolution and are not shy of the icky stuff,
yes,
shy of the feelings that sometimes make us uncomfortable to talk about, and really go deep. Like, I've pulled up my sleeves because I want to get deep into this work, so I invite you to do the same.
And you know, guys, before we even get in, what the guides showed me was, how often have you guys been in situations in your third dimensional reality, around your family, around your friends, where you're talking about real stuff and the other person feels like awkward, so awkward. Literally, every time you share something that's maybe talking about your hardships in life, or how your childhood was hard,
or anything that challenges another person's belief system.
Yes, their triggers come up, and something happens, and the friendships break off, the family breaks off. This is what 3D consciousness is founded upon. And the premise of this video is helping you move through the Jacob's ladder of ascension and literally move through these icky layers and go higher in your vibration. So many of you are now out of 3D consciousness. You guys are vibrating lower 4D or mid 4D consciousness. And how you know, through this video you'll be able to gauge where you are vibrating, and there's never any judgment. We've all vibrated 3D, we've all vibrated lower 4D, some of us are vibrating up mid 4D, and some of us are vibrating higher 4D. Saman and I are vibrating almost close to 5D consciousness, and it is our highest joy, privilege and honor, and part of our divine mission to share these codes with you so we can herald, we can literally march as the wayshowers that we are into 5D New Earth.
And this is not a race, this is also something that some of us have chosen the soul mission to go forward and pave the way and cut through the thick bushes and say,
Yes.
Come this way guys, this is where the path is. So that's the role we're playing for humanity, and that's the role you as future leaders of New Earth will play for humanity. And to shed light on the fact that Eldora mentioned that in 3D you can't have a real conversation. I have an example of that with my own family where many of you may know, I mentioned this before, that my brother passed away. We were 3 siblings, all brothers, and my youngest brother committed suicide at the age of 12, and it was a very heartbreaking experience, as you can imagine, for myself and my family. And I witnessed some horrendous images that I can't get out of my mind. But shortly after that, shortly after meeting Eldora, my spiritual awakening was triggered. Both of our spiritual awakening was triggered shortly after 2012. And at that time, all of my psychic senses started awakening, and I started being able to give, I was given the gift to communicate with the spirit world very vividly. And now both Eldora and myself have that ability. At that time, I was the pioneer. And I started communicating with my brother from the other side of the veil, and it was blowing my mind. And it was as real and as vivid for me as it is sitting next to Eldora and touching her leg. So for me, it was like, this has happened, right? And I went excitedly and told my parents about this experience. I even described like how a deal, because he committed suicide, he had a little bit of karma to pay off from that, and how he was doing his divine service and being sent on various missions across the universe. And it was so like mind-boggling, the level of detail that I was shown.
And you were also assuring your mother,
Yes.
saying Adil is in a good place, everything's okay. So his
Yes.
intention...
I was sharing good news with my parents that he's doing well, he's very excited, like there's no problem, and he wishes to express his love towards everyone, and if you're open to it, he may even communicate with me, but you guys have to be open to it.
And Saman thought they would be so
I
excited.
thought my parents would be ecstatic, because I would be. And I was literally, my storytelling was received by crickets chirping. Like there was so much awkward silence in the room that I'm like, did I say something wrong? Like what happened?
Yes.
And literally it was brushed under the carpet. It was literally ignored as if I hadn't mentioned it. And you know how 3D families are, they'll just like go on with their business and pretend it never happened, anything that makes them uncomfortable. So the point I'm sharing this story with you is that we as the ascending tribe for humanity, we as the future leaders and wayshowers, we have the responsibility to take these matters head on. And today we wish to talk to you about a very deep concept in spirituality known as gratitude. So gratitude is something that some of us think we embody, but the question we would like to start with today is, how deeply do we embody gratitude?
Okay, so let's get into gratitude. Gratitude is not a check box that you can check off and say, I'm a spiritual person, I have gratitude, amazing, I have gratitude. You guys will be shocked and amazed at how deep gratitude goes. So I remember when I used to have this false assumption that I had the most gratitude in the entire world. I was like, oh, gratitude? That's my middle name. I literally, and how many of you feel that? Like, I am a very pure channel of the divine. I have gratitude. I was one of them. Through my awakening, many times, a few times, my guides recognized and basically reflected to me that the level of gratitude I'm embodying is simply not enough for the level of privileges and blessings that I have been endowed with this life. So I'll give you a small example. There was a day, this was not very long ago, I would say 2 or 3 years ago, Saman was giving me a healing. the masters come in. So Saman and I have received a lot of healings, as many of you know, from Metatron, from Isis. As part of our divine mission, they removed implants, J seals in us, so we could do the same for you guys through implant removals and all of that. We've had some massive, major healings, tantric healings, Ka healings, Markaba healings, to prepare humanity for all the healings we've been given. And I remember Saman was once giving me a healing, and I was like, is it done? Is it done? And after that, Saman didn't say anything, but for about 3 or 4 weeks, he backed off. Even he was a bit unconscious as to why he was backing off. The masters stopped channeling through him. And then one day we were in Switzerland, this was just about 2 years ago. He said to me, he said, the guides are saying that they backed off because you didn't have gratitude. And your attitude was more like, is this done? Rather than saying, oh my God, the masters are giving me a healing. Whew, let me be present for this. Saman is giving me a healing. Let me be present for this. So that was a major, major turning point in my life. And by then I had already practiced 1,000,000 gratitude steps, but this was yet another major blind side of mine. Now we want to point out some of your blind sides to you, just like our guides pointed out some of our blind sides to us. And again, our intention is we are your cheerleaders, guys. We are your, you can call us your friends, your earth guides, your whatever you like. We are here to beam our unconditional love at you, so that this unconditional love may create a frequency around you that just melts away all resistance, melts away all blind spots, so that you can go higher into these blissful 4D frequencies. Because guess what? New Earth is not something that just arrives one day around you. Oh, perfect, it's 2026, there's New Earth. It's not like that. What is New Earth? You are right now living, there's billions and billions of souls waiting to incarnate on this planet. And you, me, Saman, all of us are the fortunate ones who are on this planet going through an incarnation, not just at any time, but in that exact time-space vector of infinite space and time, where we are creating a huge phenomenon. We're partaking in this huge phenomenon called the Great Awakening. And what most people think is, oh, the Great Awakening is one day it'll be New Earth, and suddenly it'll be fifth dimensional consciousness, but that's not how it happens. What happens is you slowly peel off layers and layers and layers of the onion of your own consciousness until you go higher and higher. And as you do so, the reality around you shifts. All of a sudden, you have more joy. As you peel off your own blind spots, you work on your traumas, you embody more gratitude, all of a sudden, life starts getting easier. You stop attracting these narcissistic relationships. It's like a video game. As you go into higher stages, everything changes. Life becomes more luxurious, much more peaceful, much more of all the good stuff comes to you. So recently, so let me tell you what caused or created this whole download. So about a year or two ago, our guides intervened on our way of doing business, and they said, Eldora and Saman, we just wish to, and your guides will never impose on you. They'll just whisper guidance through you and then they'll back off, because you ultimately have free will. So they said to us that we feel like you are overgiving and undervaluing yourself.
And teachings.
Your teachings. They said we feel you're overgiving and undervaluing, and we didn't agree. We didn't understand. We didn't see their point. Saman and I were vibrating this false 5D consciousness of we want to give, we want to help. So let me give you an example. Let's say we were doing a Markaba course and 20 of you said to us, we're single mothers, we don't have the money. Instead of empowering you and saying, okay, we'll give you 50% off, we would say to our team, anybody who writes with a sweet heart, just give them, like with a sweet, pure heart, just give them the thing for free. We truly thought that was 5D consciousness, where we're giving lavishly, we're generously giving. And our guides didn't say anything then, but they had told us that we are overgiving and that would come to bite us in the ass. Most of you who've been following your guidance know that guidance comes a full circle. It starts off, and then you basically, you deviate along the path, and then you finally say, oh shit, I've learned through contrast what the guides were talking about. So the same thing happened to us. A few days ago, we had our 1-year anniversary event at our New Earth Mystery School. And we've been getting solid guidance for a few months that, hey, instead of 2 events a month, do 1 event a month. And we were excited because not only did we get that guidance, but we also got guidance that if you focus your time and energy instead of 2 into 1, maybe you can bring higher masters in, maybe you can channel Metatron, maybe you can do a flower of life, sacred geometry episode, maybe you can bring in Yeshua, Jesus Christ, and let the audience feel Yeshua's frequency like we have in our healings. Bring in Metatron, let people feel the frequencies of the angels. So we were very excited about this. We made the announcement and instantly we felt like there was a little bit of mixed energy in the crowd. And of course, this is no judgment whatsoever. In fact, we would be really bad guides if we were judging you. We have unconditional love for every single one of you. And I truly mean that. And if ever we are not embodying unconditional love, that's on us. That's not on you, okay? So we said this and we felt, Simon and I are very psychic, we felt mixed energies. Our core audience, some of our core audience were happy for us. They said, you know what, we love this. We've been finding it hard to do 2 events. This is amazing. Yes, we would love to feel the masters. Thank you, Eldora and Simon. You do so much. You've given us so many breakthroughs. And this is gonna go deep, okay? So hang in there. I'm gonna go slow, but I'm gonna go deep and unravel this whole download. Some of the audience were also very positive, but they were saying words like, okay, we're kind of paying $88 a month. So if you're taking away one event, which is a silver event, and only keeping one, then maybe that one event needs to be better. And so there were all kinds of mixed energies, which we could feel and read in the comments. So anyway, we disconnected from all of this, and the next day this guidance came in. And basically the guidance blew our minds. You know what the guidance was? They said, Eldora and Simon, do you remember that time we told you that you need to value yourself and you need to value your teachings more? Now let us re-explain to you why that's important. And we had already got it. We're like, shit, we get it. So you want to tell them how, when we undervalue our teaching. So you want to get into that?
Yeah. So basically the message that we received was that by our intention, it was very pure when we began, and it still is. Our intention is to help humanity ascend, but this is a very subtle
very
lesson.
Subtle.
So stay with me. When you overgive, people lose value for your giving. Okay?
Absorb that.
This is the same whether you're a spiritual teacher, whether you're a housewife, whether you are a bus driver. If you are overgiving, like if you have giving in your nature, if you are an empath, which we are, we naturally tend to gravitate towards solving all of the world's problems and absorbing people's pain. And we want everyone to ascend and see the same kind of abundance and joy and happiness in their lives as we do in ours. So our intention was good, but our North Star was a bit skewed.
Yes.
Because we thought that the way to help humanity ascend is to throw in everything, including the kitchen sink, and hope that somehow the spaceship takes off and humanity ascend. So we thought, oh, these are such golden teachings that we're going to pack our New Earth Mystery School every single month with high-powered teachings that some coaches would charge thousands of dollars for.
It's a fact.
And in fact, in this particular New Earth Mystery School event that we did on Equinox, where we made this announcement of going from 2 events a month to 1 event a month, we had just done a shadow workshop. And in this shadow workshop, it was not just a workshop where you just like come, share, and laugh and go home. Like by the end, people with sexual traumas literally were in tears, and it helped them like go into dark corners of their psyche that had been buried since a very young age. And these kind of breakthroughs, like people go to psychiatrists for 20 years and then have one breakthrough like this.
And remember the one girl in NEMS, she even said to us, course, she said, I spent $25,000 on a coach once who couldn't really give me 1/100th of the breakthroughs you've given me. So thank you. She was expressing gratitude.
So another example of overgiving is our guides reminded us that when you overgive, people do not value the same thing that you're overgiving. They place a lower price tag in their own mind about it. And I can give you an example of that. Let's say if our Markaba course, which has caused people many breakthroughs, like the testimonials are so long that I could write a book with them. And our Markaba course, we priced it at 222
Last
last
year,
year?
it was
Yeah, it was
222.
222.
We had over 1,000, 1,200 people attend with
Yeah,
us.
exactly. So we wanted to make it so that many people could attend.
Like as accessible
But
to...
if you ask me personally, what's the value of these teachings? I would say it's priceless.
Yes.
Because these are teachings from Atlantis and they were retaught to us by Metatron, Isis, Melchizedek, and all these very powerful beings. So how can you even put a price tag on these? And the kind of breakthroughs that people have, it's not just like, oh, I have more joy in my life. It's literally like I am using my Merkaba and like I have
creating miracles.
and half my gas tank got filled up. Like
Or-
those kind of miracles.
Or I've manifested money. I've manifested a job paying me this much. Holy shit!
Yeah.
All kinds of. I manifested my twin flame because we taught. It was massive.
So our angels reminded us that if you placed a price tag of 1111 or 2022 on the same Merkaba course, some people who have never even practiced these teachings, if they paid like 10 times more, they would value those teachings a lot more because that's how human psychology works.
Versus giving it for free.
If you get a Rolex that's like lit up under like all these glamorous lampshades in a nice expensive store on a very expensive street, you're more likely to pay more for it than if somebody gave you the same stolen Rolex from the back of a car, right? It's the same watch.
And also it's about how you feel. So imagine, another analogy is, imagine you're buying a fake Louis Vuitton or whatever. You feel like shit when you know you're wearing a fake Louis Vuitton. You don't feel good about yourself. It's all human psychology. So why we're going deep in this is this was the breakthrough we got about it. Versus if you go and whatever, I'm just saying Louis Vuitton, but if you, let's say we gave you guys the Merkaba course for $1, just for fun. We said, hey, instead let's get 1 million people to sign up for $1. You would have no value for the same course. When humans, and this is what the guides were trying to tell us 2 years ago when they came in with this guidance, and this is going to give you guys breakthroughs in all aspects of your life, so really absorb these codes. If we gave you guys the Merkaba course for $1, most of you, 1 million people, let's say, would buy it just for fun. This is just an example. And maybe 900, like I don't know, maybe 90% of those people would never do the course because we would attract the wrong audience. They would not see value in our offering because we have not valued our offerings. And B, they would say, oh, I don't have time to do this $1 course. But if you paid $11.11 as an example, or went to a high-end retreat and said, I paid $10,000 for this event, you would make sure you cultivated and reaped every ounce, every penny, every dollar of that $10,000 investment, right? It's human psychology, it's marketing psychology, it's the psychology of everything. But Siman and I were not working through that psychology. In the goodness of our hearts, we wanted to give. And yes, we charge $222, which by no means is less. But at the same time, it is also heavily, it's a very packed product.
And what started happening in our lives as a result of this overgiving and undervaluing our offerings is that we felt that we have to work double as hard in order to make the jump to the next level of our abundance. But the guidance that we're getting right now is that we do not have to work double as hard. We have to work smart.
Yes.
And by working smart, it means making heart-centered decisions. And we can have a much deeper level of coaching, a much deeper level of connection with our audience, and we can go much higher in our connection with our guides and angels if we free up more of our time rather than do 10 projects at once. You know what I mean? So the guidance that we started receiving is that we need to start freeing up more spaces in order to connect with the higher realms, because we as ascension guides and humanity as a general are being invited to go to the next level, constantly go up Jacob's ladder, like Eldora said. So to go up Jacob's ladder, it doesn't mean to work in a 3D way like a donkey all the time, constantly pushing out events, constantly pushing out more YouTube videos, constantly doing more. More is equated in human psychology as better. But in the higher realms, the quality of the teachings and the depth to which you practice those teachings has a much greater value than if you just accumulate and hoard knowledge and never practice it. And that's actually what we started seeing happening in our New Earth Mystery School. Because of the amount of knowledge that we were putting out, people didn't even have a chance to breathe in between events and to be able to practice and put those teachings into place in their daily routine before they moved on to the next event. And because of that, they were not given the opportunity to appreciate the depth of the teachings that are literally being placed in a gold platter in front of them.
Like even when you look at the last year, the kind of offerings were activate your guidance. This by itself is a high ticket offering. We charge $88 a month, which is like compared to even some of the people who are doing containers like this, so low. But do you guys see how this works? We gave activate your guidance. We did higher self merger and activation. We did thought, the hermetic principles of thought, the law of one. We do regular entity healings and implant removals. We do quantum healings. We do new moon ceremonies. More than that, we do mental body, like how to work through your limiting beliefs. I can tell you that people like Tony Robbins, like there are some very high, we've never gone to those coaches, but we know of these coaches that charge a minimum of $50,000. And this is not just hearsay, these are facts. I'm giving you guys facts. The competition out here for this kind of information is very high premium in the world of spirituality. It's very sought after. And we, out of the goodness of our hearts and this false label that we had put that we're gonna give because we love humanity, we help, we were wrong, you guys, and that's what we're correcting right now. So we have given all this thought and entity removals and breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. And yet when we shared this exciting message, the message was, oh my God, come on, the Australian dollar is not strong enough. You're taking away one thing. So it was more like, how can you take away one thing? And that is the frequency that you are being asked to evaluate in all aspects of your life. As you go about your life from today, I am inviting you to evaluate where you are not in gratitude. Where are you constantly vibrating expectation? Where are you not in gratitude for your guides? And I'll give you an example. This happened, this is a real life story. There was a girl in Toronto who was flying high. We were still not fully activated then. This was about 6 or 7 years ago. We were still learning and being trained and groomed. And this girl was doing workshop after workshop, and she was really doing very well, to be honest. Hundreds of people were flocking to her every week. And I remember meeting her once in a bonfire, like there was some spiritual drum circle or whatever. And she came to us and she's like, screw my guides, they're really
they're misguiding
me. I'm not going to listen to them anymore. And we were shocked, but we didn't know what to make of it. She was blaming her guides for all the wrong decisions in her life, and she stopped following her guidance. But not only that, she started blaming. For some reason, she went into this wrong dark path of, oh, my guides, I am the guide. I am my own guide, which in a way is true. Your guides are never going to take away your free will. But we are telling you this. If there's any ounce of doubt in your mind, you have to, it's non-negotiable, have to embody the highest gratitude, love, and respect for your guides. Because here's the thing that many of you may not know. Your guides, your spirit guides, don't have an obligation to help you out. They help you out of the love and unconditional love they feel for you. They are your biggest well-wishers. They want to help you from the other side of the veil move through life. But they're not going to sit there and do it for you if you have ungratitude for them. So when you come to a mystery school of such high frequencies such as ours, or you come and do some of our events, we have a lot of premium offerings, you guys know, or you come to our retreats, you guys know that you are working with the masters. You're not working with Eldora and Siman, our human incarnation forms. You are literally working with ascended masters. You are literally working with angels. You're working with the Pleiadians. So when you come in right away, our vortex has this frequency block. It has this frequency block that is not even, you don't even have the key to open this frequency vortex until and unless, and this is super important for everybody listening, until and unless you have mastered and embodied the keys of non-expectation, of non-projection. Like she said this, he said this, you're still stuck in all the stories of what is she wearing, why is she showing her cleavage, why is he touching her, why is she interrupting him. These are all your egos distracting you. Instead of saying, okay, these two people are coming up, showing up to help me, instead of saying thank you for giving me a free teaching, I'm judging them. Oh my God.
And this goes for all YouTube teachers, and this even goes for your teachers in your life. Teachers teachers' level of respect is second only to our parents. So teachers in our life hold a very high level of value. And people who know how to respect teachers are the ones who rise the fastest in life. And that's really the crux of the message today. This is what we were taught by our angels, and that's what we want to transmit to every single person who wants to make the jump to the next level in their evolution. Our angels literally said this word for word. If you do not have gratitude for all of the blessings that are right in front of your eyes, all of the blessings, no matter how bleak your circumstances are, do you still have a meal that you can appreciate? Do you still have people you can say are your well-wishers and loved ones? Do you still have a roof over your head and a bed you can sleep on? So our angels reminded us word for word that if you do not have gratitude for the blessings that are right in front of your eyes, then how can the universe give you more? For the universe, you cannot pay any amount of money for these kind of blessings that you receive.
Yes.
The universe's only currency is how much gratitude you exhibit to the universe. How much, and not just saying the words, but really feeling the words deep within your heart. And this is not just for us. This is not for us.
This is not for us.
I'm telling you this as a fact. We are not here harping about gratitude because we feel that we're not getting enough gratitude.
And we're not trying to convince you of anything.
That's far from the truth.
We don't need anything from you.
This is truly a teaching form of unconditional love that we have received, that we wish to pass on, because we've already reaped the benefits of learning this very important lesson. And the lesson is, once you start having gratitude for the things in your life, that's when your ascension really takes off.
And your abundance really takes off.
That's when your abundance takes off.
Let's repeat that.
When you have gratitude for all the blessings in your life and really feeling gratitude, the deep gratitude, like really like tears in your eyes kind of gratitude, like seriously God, like what did I do to deserve this? Like this is how we, this is what we embody on a daily level, on a daily basis. So this is the key to abundance. Many people think that taking away something is like giving, is like them receiving less. But if you start to really go deep and say, hey, that one thing that I learned, if I start practicing that and start cultivating that, and I start creating 100 new timelines because of that one teaching, maybe that's more valuable for me than 100 teachings, right? So this is really the key to opening your abundance.
And I'll leave you guys with a personal story that will really resonate with many of you. This just came to me. So 10 years ago when I met Simano, 11 years ago, in 2013 when my father passed away, that's when I had my spiritual awakening. And like literally I saw his dead body and I had this awakening, literally. His spirit was guiding me saying, you have it all wrong. So anyway, 2 months later I met Siman. I was still married in a 20-year relationship, a normal 3D marriage. It wasn't a bad one, but it wasn't deep either. When I left, a year later I left the marriage. It was the hardest thing for me to do because I had a 14-year-old son or a 12-year-old son. I can't remember how old he was then. It was the hardest thing and it took so much healing. I had guilt, I had all these frequencies, burden of who's going to take care of my ex-husband, whatnot. And then I said to myself, this is something, for some reason I'm being asked to share with you. I said to myself, what if I leave him and he finds someone who can love him and care for him the way I love Siman and Siman loves me and we care for each other. So even that was what gave me the strength saying, he's going to be okay, and I left. And I had a big social circle. We had a big group of 200 or 300 girls. We called ourselves the social circle. It was a very big group, a community of people. And all of them turned against me. They said, how can you do this? This is a sin. You can't, you're married, you have a child, you can't do this, you can't do that. So every single one of them wanted to keep me locked, and I'll tell you why this is important. This is why it's coming in. Every single one of them wanted to keep me locked in their vibrational octave of religion, conforming, playing by the books, not taking risks, societal norms. Every single one of them was miserable. Some of them drove $600,000 Ferraris, miserable in their lives, literally. So What did I do? I did the opposite and I left, and then I skyrocketed. I met Siman, our spiritual awakening happened. We were told we're new earth guides and leaders. We were Metatronic healers. We started, all kinds of magic started happening in our lives, preparing us for this, to be pillars. We were told 10 years ago, you'll be pillars of a community. And we're like, what pillars? What does that mean? The guides speak very cryptic. We're like, pillars? What? They're like, you'll be healers. What does healer mean? Are we supposed to like volunteer in a hospital maybe? We didn't even understand our guidance, you guys. They said you're going to be community pillars, healers. And we're like, we don't know what that means, and we don't want to be any leaders for this Muslim community. Like, we didn't relate to our Muslim community at all. Now here, why is this important? They're showing me this. When we made that announcement at New Earth Mystery School, some of you were like, no, please don't take away the silver event. We want to do 2 events. What the guides are saying is, you are the most beautiful, pure people. Don't take any offense to this, okay? Don't be triggered. I have nothing but unconditional love. But you are now trying to lock someone else in your frequency band, saying, I can't afford $88 because I live in Australia and the Australian dollar is weak or whatever, or I'm a single mom. Instead of saying, Eldor and Siman, we're fucking cheering for you. You fly up because we see your intention. We see how much you have done for humanity. We've seen how much you've given. For those of you who don't know, we actually spent a lot of our savings just before COVID, and we built an orphanage in Uganda in the Butebi village. And when COVID hit, everything was washed away, wiped out. Literally all of we spent at least $100,000 on that project. We still have pictures and stuff, but then we decided not to pursue it. After COVID, there was a 3-year gap. We are the most giving people we know. Recently, you know, I bought a course just because we're starting courses. So I bought a course from one of the major influencers in the market. And without any projection or negativity, I'll tell you with my full 100% integrity, our normal NEMS, a New Earth Mystery School normal event that we just did on Equinox was 10 times better than this $500 masterclass by this multi-million-dollar spiritual celebrity. And that is when why is all of this happening? Why is all of this so recent? Because the guides are our guides are interested in us getting the lesson. We are interested in you getting the lesson, right? Because we've got the lesson. Guides said, if you don't value your teachings now, you're attracting the wrong audience. And you know what they said to us? It goes even deeper. They said, if you keep undervaluing yourself, people who value themselves will not resonate with you as spiritual guides.
That's deep.
So deep.
Say that again.
If they said to us, our guides, if you don't value yourself, if you don't value your teachings, if you don't value your time, this is a very advanced teaching I'm giving you guys. Even spiritual teachers need this teaching. All of the spiritual teachers that I see, like, you know, 200, 300,000 people on YouTube will benefit from this teaching. Because everybody is just like, they don't know how to rise up. Everybody's moving in circles. So the guides say, if you don't value your own time, teachings, energy, you're going to attract people who complain. You're going to attract people who are stuck, who cannot afford you. And so you're going to limit yourself to, like how my friends tried to keep me stuck in the lower 3D. Saying, hey, you can't get married. Who do you think you are? You can't just go away with Siman. No fucking way. But I did, and I skyrocketed in my abundance, in my joy, in my everything. I was miserable, and now I'm reverse aging because of all these choices I made. So the guides are literally saying, Eldor and Siman, what kind of leaders, what kind of way showers, what kind of earth guides do you want to be? Do you want to be ones that are teaching people lack and limitation, like you can't afford this? Or are you saying, I am rooting for you? I love you. I love you unconditionally. I'm really telling you that. I give gratitude every single day, and so does Siman for every single one of you. Do you know that? You guys are part of our gratitude practice. We always say to our guides, our universe, we say, thank you, universe, for blessing us with one of the most beautiful communities. We were never after the 1 million followers. That was not our intention. You know why? We said, what's the point of having 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, even 500,000 followers, or people who are just like followers, I use that word deliberately, who you have no heart resonance with, who are just takers. We are here to create a new earth community. And we are here to build the pillars that don't exist on earth, quite frankly. Build the pillars of gratitude, unconditional love, integrity, respect for your guides, really embodying the teachings rather than flicking to the next video. You know how on TikTok, you're on TikTok and you're like watching one after the other after the other? This flicking has become a phenomenon on the earth. And the guides are saying you can't make yourself flickable anymore because humanity needs to ascend. Humanity is going in circles. You need to now go up so that you can take everyone up with you, and that is what we are doing.
And our main intention moving forward is to provide a platform of teachings where we can take our audience deep rather than bombard them with 100 lessons a month. We would like to take the serious individuals who are ready for their ascension, who are willing to invest in their own growth, who are ready to roll up their sleeves and deal with the icky stuff and not project it onto others, not blame outside circumstances for their internal feelings, and really take charge of their life. And these are the individuals these are the people who are ready to ascend. There's other people who are in the lukewarm zone who just come, listen to a few teachings, then don't practice them. That's okay. Maybe the seed is being planted, and one day in the future they will. And there's no rush. Like we said, it's not a race. But we want to take the people who are serious and we want to go deep with them. And that's the whole crux of our philosophy moving forward.
I love that. So I think that's a good place to end. Oh, and one other story. This is a true story. I keep getting the stories in the end. Siman used to be a DJ in Toronto. I'm glad we remember to tell this story. So Siman used to charge, I don't know, $500 for a gig, okay? And he got the crappiest clients, $500 for a DJ gig. He got people who complained, whined. I witnessed all of this. And then one day something happened to him. He's always been able to speak to his guides, even when he was asleep. He somehow had this connection. I didn't, he did. And he said, screw it, I'm gonna make it $2,000. Overnight, he went from $500 to $2,000, and this takes a lot of balls. True, that's how I met him, because I was part of this social circle, like I said, where all the multimillionaire girls, these fancy Miss Jones, you know, were all kitty parties. And they hired him because they said, we only want the best of the best DJs for our friend's wedding. We're gonna hire this guy. And I was like, ooh, who is this guy? Everybody was talking about him like he's a celebrity. And that's how I met him. That's how I met him in 2013. I was like, who is this guy? And then I met him at my friend's wedding party. He was DJing and I had rehearsed this dance. And that day I was just frozen. I couldn't dance. I was so shy upon seeing him because it was love at first sight.
She's still shy of me.
And my point is, look, you see what happens? And guess what? These clients who were paying him $2,000, they would give him standing ovations, bonuses, gratitude, referrals. Like, so with the same amount of work, he quadrupled his income.
And there's one more dimension in this teaching that I wanted to leave with you all. If you're a healer and if you are a business owner, whatever, if you are charging people for your services or your products, you can't just double your prices and expect your customers to be happy. There also has to be that level of quality to match your offerings. And this is the whole crux of the teaching. We're telling you that our offerings from the get-go, because of the level of guidance that we have, are worth millions of dollars.
Yes, I can truly say that.
So even if we charge double, it's undervaluing our teachings. But we have to find a balance in the physical realm. But if you are a business owner, focus on quality, focus on solving a problem for people, focus on giving value to people's lives. And when you focus on your service, then you also also raise your price to give them the real assessment in the physical realm that this price tag reflects the amount that I wish to receive. And there has to be an equal giving and receiving. Only then this principle works.
And you increase your prices because you value yourself more. You increase your prices because you see the quality, and trust me, by doing so, you will attract more abundance, more clients. Suddenly your whole scenery will shift around.
And people will see you in a different way.
We are cheering for you guys. We're so excited. For those of you who are brand new to our Vortex and are like, okay, what the hell are these guys talking about? Where can I look at all of these premium offerings? Our website is loaded. The website's being redesigned right now. In a few months, it'll be ready. But listen, go to www.nems.love. So it's NEMS.love. And you'll see all our offerings. And you can even see our Pleiadian retreat on our homepage. And check out our retreat, check out our offerings, premium offerings, and you'll have enough to work with there. And for all of you who've been part of our life for the last 2 to 3 years, we love you so much. We're excited that you have made millions and millions of jumps just like we have. And I can honestly tell you, this spaceship is taking off like never before. Because guess what? In 4 days, we go to Egypt. We've been invited for some major senior advanced spiritual initiations there. We're going to be visiting the tomb of Nefertiti.
The temple of Isis.
The temple of Isis.
I have Isis sitting right next to me, so it's an honor.
The great, the king's chamber, the pyramid, and not just all. We've been invited there by the masters to collect soul fragments of ours to really like take off, literally. And we are inviting every single one of you to take off with us. We have a lot of exciting momentum stuff coming in early of 2024. We have, and we might as well say to you now when the energy is so amazing, we're actually going to be launching a Healers Academy where we're going to be teaching you and empowering you with one of the most cutting edge state of the art healing modalities that is so multidimensional. You don't need crystals, you don't need anything with it, you just need you. You're not giving away your power to anything. It's the only modality that has really lit my soul on fire. Metatron has been teaching us this, and we're going to be teaching you guys this. And guess what? Why is it so empowering for me? I do many things. Why is this so empowering? Many of you know this. From day one, I used to always pray to my guides. I would say, I need to help humanity ascend. My pure love is very, very sweet. From day one, I've always felt this love. I want to help them ascend. I want all the gifts I've been receiving in the last 10 years, I want you guys to receive. And I'd be like, how do they get this? How do they? I would always not know the how. Should we build a crystal line? What should we do? This healing modality is an answer to all the prayers. Because number one, it's going to teach you guys how to heal yourself. Some of you may say, we're going to heal ourselves and that's it. That's all you need to ascend. You need to heal yourself. This is that modality that can heal you from A to Z. And I mean what I say.
Because we used it to ascend.
We're using it to ascend. We're the proof of the pudding. And number two, for those of you who say, ooh, we want to go to level 2 and level 3 and really get into this, I have goosebumps, you guys. You guys are going to be the cutting edge healers of this planet, because we're not only going to take you to level 2 and 3, we're also going to teach you the fundamentals of business. We're going to teach you how to set up your website. We're going to teach you all the things we've learned. And by the end of it, literally even after level 1, our intention is that you guys are making an income out of it. Not just any income. We're talking 10,000, we're talking 20,000 a month based on 4 days of work. And we're going to teach you how to get there. It's not like we're not just making fluff numbers. We would never do that to you. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Make sure you're in our mailing list. Go to nems.love, subscribe to our mailing list if you're interested so you get all the updates. We love you. Comment below and let us know how this video was for you and how it helped you. And congratulations for sitting through the end, because that means your ego has not said, screw this, I'm out. Because your ego has been able to handle it till here. So congratulations just for that. Love you guys.
Love you guys.